There are a lot of very similar products on the market. It's a lot more expensive than the ones I've seen online. I didn't want to risk buying something that was going to be crap. It's going to break in a year, you'll just have to buy another one, but that's okay because they're cheap. I'm happy with this. Today, I'm going to tell you about a very exciting thing which just came yesterday, or maybe it was the day before. Anyway, that's irrelevant. It is the Dometic battery-powered tap. This is the one, and it's pretty cool. So hang around for my thoughts on this. Hello internets, I am back again with another review of sorts. I haven't actually taken it out on the road yet, but I have tested it at home, and I want to tell you what I think of this new Dometic battery powered tap, and I am really excited to take this out on the road. I've tested it at home and I've made some notes with my initial thoughts, and let's get started. I'm going to show you what comes in the box. It is a nice little package. The tap itself, it is really pretty. I like the look of it. It's very light. Can't tell you how much it weighs, but just that it doesn't weigh much. It comes with this little tube, comes with a charger, these two little metal pucks designed to hold this in place. They are magnetic. It's also got little sticky pads, little self-adhesive things that you can stick those down with. And the last thing that it comes with, aside from the instructions, etc., is a little bag so you can put them in. I'm really not sure if I'll use the bag, but depending on how you camp, you may want to just pack everything in that little bag so that when you set up for camp, you've got everything together. All right, let me run over the basic features of this. The features are all listed on their website and stuff, but I'm just going to run over them here so you don't have to look that up. It is a double tap to turn it on and a single tap to turn it off. On, off. It's got a solid blue LED on top when you turn it on, and there is a light underneath for being able to see what you're filling, which I think is fantastic. Here we go. It pumps 1 litre per minute. I've timed it, and yes, it does. It pumps exactly 1 litre in exactly 1 minute. It also has a feature where it will stop automatically after 1 minute of pumping / 1 litre of pumping. So that's great. So if somebody walks away from it while you're at camp and hasn't turned it off, it's not going to waste a whole lot of water. I kind of feel like a whole litre is actually a bit to waste, but I suppose it's better than nothing, right? It's not going to flood completely. It will stop after a litre. When you charge this, the red light on top will flash on and off. When it's finished charging, the red light goes off. And on the documentation online, it says this will pump 150 litres per charge. I haven't timed that because I'm not going to be sitting around pumping 150 litres of water. So I'll take their word for it. They have no reason to lie. But that's impressive. This water jug, the Dometic Go 11 litre water jug, that basically means you'd get like sort of 15-ish, give or take, of these jugs full, which is pretty impressive before you have to recharge this again. I don't know how long it takes to recharge it. I haven't used it until it's empty, so I haven't timed how long it takes to recharge. It is water resistant. Where it plugs into charge, it has one of those little rubber caps which seals that charging port. So that's good. So you can use this with wet hands and you're not going to damage the tap itself. So that's good. Now, one thing when I saw this demonstrated online in various places, other reviews and stuff like that, is I would see people put this little silicone tube on and it slips on very easily. And I wondered to myself if it would also come off very easily because it goes on so easily and there's no little clip to hold that in place or anything. And I was a little bit concerned and I thought it's going to slip off super easily, but it doesn't. You actually have to pull really hard to get that off. Because it is a silicone tube, it seems to grip quite well on that little outlet. and you really do actually have to try hard to remove that. I really thought it was going to slide off super easily, but it doesn't. It came sort of rolled up in a tight little plastic bag, and it sort of had the little kinks in it like that. But because it is a silicone type tube, it bounces back immediately, the kinks don't stay, and it means that it'll last longer. I love this light underneath. I think that is a brilliant feature. There have been many occasions when I've been camping in the van when there wasn't quite enough light, and I've needed to turn a light on specifically to be able to pour water in something to see how much water I'm getting. You don't have that issue with this one because it's got the light underneath. There it is, light, nice and bright. Now, once we pump water through this, it'll be much quieter. It's only because it doesn't have water going through it that it's quite noisy. It sort of gurgles, as you can hear, because I've already run it, and because there's a little bit of water floating around in this, I guess. I do like the magnetic bases that it comes with. Eventually, hopefully soon, I'm gonna have some permanent bench space behind me in my van here. And I'm considering that the round magnetic puck thing would be perfect on the top of that bench, and then I can put it on top, I can stick that to the bench, and it's quite secure, especially with a little lip around it. If I was to drive off and left this on the bench, I would feel quite happy with that on there, because it would have to be a pretty serious heavy braking for this to come loose. So with that little rim, that's going to hold it pretty tight. So you could leave this on your bench permanently. I can take this off, which of course you won't, because if you got to charge it and your charging station is nowhere near this, then you can just pick this up and bring it to your charging station to plug it in. This is a combo pro and con. The thing I don't like is that it takes a micro USB charging port. I hate micro USB. They're hard to see in the dark because that one edge is slightly wider than the other, and so it only fits in that one direction. I wish they'd used USB-C instead of micro USB. The advantage with the micro USB is that you've probably got a billion lying around that you can use to charge this. So yeah, it takes a micro USB plug for charging. I've already mentioned how it's water resistant. It has an IPX4 rating. I think it is a fairly basic level of waterproof. You wouldn't want to soak this in water. On the instructions, it actually does show a cloth for cleaning this as opposed to dunking it in water. Now, one of the very fancy things about this tap that I like is on the end of this tube here, it's got a CPC fitting. I don't know what CPC stands for. There we go, you can see that there. That is designed to fit with a lot of your standard hydration systems that use a bladder and those little munchy, chewy tube things that you can suck the water through. I'm sure there's a proper name for that. But the fancy thing is, with their own water jug here, it has that same CPC fitting on the top. Nice firm click, I love that. And that means that when you plug the other end in here, you are getting water all the way from the bottom of this jug. Let me just show you. At the bottom of their water jug, you have another one of these nice silicone-y tubes. It reaches all the way to the bottom of the jar, clicks in. So we do the double tap, and out comes the water. Da-da-da-da. And one of those pucks, actually, the magnetic pucks, would be perfect for the top of this jug. You could stick it right there. There's a nice space for it. Let me show you. Or, you know, you could make it face the right way to be all pretty. You could stick it on there with the self-adhesive stickers, and you can pop it on top there. And so you could have this on top of your picnic table or wherever you use it, and you would then just get your water as you need to. One thing I really like about this, let me just get all that excess water out of it. made it all wet now. That's okay because it's waterproof. One of the things I do like about this is it's really pretty. It looks good. I know that looks aren't everything, and what really matters when you're camping is how practical it is, but it doesn't hurt if something looks nice as well, right? And they've achieved that with this. I'm going to mention some of the things that I don't like about it. There really aren't a lot of things that I don't like about this. A very small niggle is this tube smells. I don't think it would transfer any smell to your water, and I suspect it's just because it's some sort of, maybe it's a silicon hybrid, for want of a better phrase, but it smelled really strongly coming out of its little packet, and I can still smell it now. I imagine it would be something that would fade with time after it's been sitting out of the packet for a while. I haven't tried washing them with soap. Probably could, don't know if it'll make a difference, but I don't think it's a big deal. Whatever it is made of, silicone and something, it does have a slight smell, and I don't think it's going to be an issue in the long run, but it's just something to be aware of. It's a very small niggle. The pretty brushed finish on this, it is pretty, but I wonder if it'll show scratches easily. But mind you, any finish is probably going to show scratches easily. So yeah, I'm really reaching to find negatives about this. I really am. The one thing I do wish they had is a kill switch or something somewhere, a proper off switch, so that you don't accidentally turn that on. It is surprisingly easy to turn this on accidentally, despite it taking a double tap. One of those little rubber, oops. Yeah, I wouldn't mind some little special switch somewhere where you can just like turn it to off so that nothing will turn it on accidentally, unless you're actually really trying to turn it on. One last thing that isn't the best, but it's not the end of the world because you figure it out as you go, is the instruction manual is a bit sparse. It's all pictures, which makes sense because they sell these all around the world. So putting no words on them, except for, you know, like the little fine print here, makes a lot of sense because it means that anybody can read it. However, some of them confuse the heck out of me. So for example, it tells you about the charging, and it shows you this thing here where it's talking about, I hope you can see that there, where it's talking about the indicators for the charging. So it says, look, with the little eyeball at this light, it says hairy caterpillar, non-hairy caterpillar, and hairy caterpillar that is then chopped up equals battery. So I do know from plugging it in that when it's charging, it has a red light that flashes on and off. I'm assuming what that means, it goes from on to off to on. And I also assume that the little low battery indicator means that it's going to start flashing red when the battery's low. As I said, I haven't run it that long because it will pump a lot before the battery runs out. Anyway, the hairy caterpillars amuse me. I know they're a light lighting up, but I just looked at them and went, what? There are a lot of very similar products on the market. I was looking at getting some kind of battery powered tap a while ago. And when I looked online, I saw that there were quite a number of different styles. They weren't big name brands, and so the details on them were a little bit thin on the ground. Now the prices varied a lot from I think around sort of 15-20 Australian dollars was the cheapest, and the more expensive ones were maybe around $50. Because there was such a big price variance, with very little information on the differences between them. I didn't want to risk buying something that was going to be crap. So I just didn't. I just used my little siphon tap here shoved in the top of my water jug. So when I saw that this had come out, yes, it's around 100 Australian dollars, possibly more in some places. I think I got it on special for 100. I did kind of go, well, that's a lot more expensive than the ones I've seen online, but I think the difference is that this is built really well. After I bought this, I did look up some videos on various water taps, and I found someone who had done an excellent review of, I think it was 4 different types of those cheapy taps. I'll link to it down below or something, because it was a really good video actually. And having watched that after I purchased this and while I was waiting for it to come in, I was very pleased that I didn't buy one of those taps because his conclusion in the end was that it's going to break in a year, you'll just have to buy another one, but that's okay because they're cheap. Now, yeah, it sometimes comes down to that, but now that I know there's this good product which hopefully will last, and I do have confidence that it will, I'm happy with this. It is simple, it's effective, it does what it's meant to do, and it's built well. I don't know if I've checked what the warranty period on this is. I think it might be 3 years, but that would be surprising. Dometic Go Water Tap. Ah! Yep, it's a 3-year warranty. I'm impressed with that. A lot of electronics only have a 1-year warranty. So yeah, that's good. That's it. That's my thoughts. It really is hard to say much more about this other than I'm impressed. I hope it will last with the 3-year warranty. Obviously it's going to last at least 3 years. I do like the little features they put in it. I don't think there's much else I can tell you. That's it. I like it. I'm really keen to use it. I would recommend it so far, having only used it a little bit. Oh, when it arrived, I did test it out for a little while to sort of get an idea of what the battery might be at, and I think I ran maybe 10 litres through it, out of the sink and back into the sink. I didn't count it, and the battery showed no signs of running out at that point. So I reckon straight out of the box you would be able to plug it into your 10 litre or this one, 11 litre water jug, and off you'd go. You'd be ready to hit the road straight away. I think that's all I have to say about it. Maybe in a year I'll let you know how it's been going, and I'll come back to it eventually. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you've been enjoying my content, please hit the subscribe button and use the little notification bell, which means you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thank you to my patrons. So if you're interested in supporting me that way, I've got a Patreon, links are in the description, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. All right, excuse me, itchy nose. There's mozzies out here. All the way to the bottom of the jug, referencing an old Australian TV ad.